Hi there. This is yet another City Council update for the meeting dates, August 3rd, 2009. Not a whole lot to talk about this. I'm actually going to focus more what happened on the Committee of the Whole. I was asked a question about what is a Committee of the Whole? Do you actually do anything there? And actually the reason for the Committee of the Whole is I don't know the true history of it, but the biggest reason why we have to have something like that, it's supposed to be our working sessions. What it is might be something altogether different, but what it actually comes into play here is Minnesota open meeting laws, and Minnesota open meeting laws state that if basically four of us council members are in the same spot talking business, it needs to be a posted public meeting, which means we have to have it posted, I think, 48 hours in advance. It's got to be something that everyone in the public can access. Basically what that means is we can't go in a smoke-filled room. Now, the reality is I believe those smoke-filled rooms still exist, and I believe there are those who manipulate the open meeting law to their advantage and basically try and weaken the council and empower themselves. And you better believe that lobbyists know how the open meeting laws work and know how to manipulate the system. But the reason for the Committee of the Whole is that is a posted public meeting, and therefore we can discuss things. Now, I guess I take exception to apparently how some of the minutes are being written. I understand that the minutes indicate that we're going to consider a new plan for the running of the West Fire Grill by the same crappy owner, and that ain't the meeting that I was at. They were told to go talk to the police, but as far as I'm concerned, this owner's had enough, has burnt enough bridges, demonstrated that they are truly incompetent to running a responsible business with a liquor license, and as such, I am going to do everything in my power to ensure that West Fire Grill does not have a liquor license under the same owner. Different owner, different ball game. Maybe we bring in somebody responsible. And as for somebody coming in and just forgetting to mention the fact that they were part of this mess that was Bond's buffet disaster, with that same owner, and just kind of forgetting to mention and portraying themselves as an outsider that's going to fix the issue. Not a good way to start with me. The bottom line is, as far as I'm concerned, this owner is done. No way I will want to see them with a liquor license again. They put our police in jeopardy. They put the community in jeopardy because all our scarce police resources focus so intently on this business. This owner cannot and should not be trusted, and I'm disappointed that anyone on the council would seriously consider giving them a liquor license. The Committee of the Whole meeting, we focused on one particular issue, and that was an update of the urban master plan. I was a little bit disappointed that Sandy Keith, as the executive director of the RDA, did not make himself available to answer any questions, because I have a number of questions as to how that how that organization is being run, and some of the practices that they've had in the past. Instead, they had somebody who was a member of one of the boards do the entire pitch, and urban master planning is absolutely necessary. Like I brought up, the neighbors of Kutsky Park shouldn't have to fight like mad to get a well-designed urban building into their neighborhood, and the victims near the Washington Village project shouldn't have to have a monstrosity put up with absolutely zero consideration being given to streetscape, vinyl siding on the side of this clad building, and air conditioners sticking out the side. We need urban design standards because, quite frankly, developers are afraid to go into our urban village because they don't know what's going to be put up next door to them. We all want downtown to be successful, and the reality is, if we had a Washington Village put in downtown, it's only going to serve to make it more difficult to do quality development. This is a good first step. It's going to be fed to the urban master planning professionals who are going to do a master plan for the entire downtown area, not just the urban village. But I think there's some additional considerations that need to be taken for the entire downtown. In particular, the preliminary boundaries that were drawn up for the downtown didn't include a lot of what I consider to be downtown, and completely ignored transitions to neighborhoods, which I think is absolutely vital. I did speak with the city administration and ensured that we're going to have the ability to, before we hire anyone on the city's behalf, actually make sure they have qualifications, do this right, make sure they can point to work that they've done in the past and been successful with urban redevelopment. Bottom line is I don't want I just don't want the same good old boys coming up with the same failed solutions time and time again. I want somebody who knows how to do this right. I think the citizens of Rochester deserve that. as to the meeting itself, a couple things that brought up. I took exception with the feasibility report that came in on Villa and Chateau roads, claiming that the 65th Street interchange would decrease speeding on Villa and Chateau. Well, that just isn't going to happen. Let me tell you why. The people who are speeding on Villa and Chateau are not the very same people who are going to take additional time to go a much greater distance to get to the same point. It's the people who aren't speeding that might consider using it. So while I think 65th Street may decrease the volume of traffic on Villa and Chateau roads, it is absolutely going to do nothing to help with the speeding. In fact, it might make it worse because it's going to make it easier to speed there. Bruce Snyder had a little different take on this. I'm going to try and get that video clip and post it so you can see it for yourself. What we ended up doing, and the council did go along with it, is we changed the feasibility report, which we're just accepting the facts in the report, and I thought the facts were incorrect. So we changed the facts to reflect that 65th Street was not going to help with the speeding, and we also there's a cost estimate on the bridge of $6 million. My guess is going to be closer to $20 million, and I corrected that as well. And I think that all these, we need to realize that this $20 million bridge that we're going to probably end up putting the bill for ourselves, I certainly don't support it until we actually have responsible land use standards in place, which we don't have. It's subsidizing suburban sprawl. We've made bad decisions. We keep building more and more infrastructure, and we can't afford the infrastructure that we have. And we're just going to continue doing it. And the only reason we're building 65th Street right now is, because there are a couple of private developers who have land there, and they can make lots of money. So why not stick it to the taxpayer to the tune of $20 million and basically do something that might be necessary in the future, but isn't necessary now? Might be wise in the future, but without proper planning in place, it certainly isn't wise now. We're just going to get more suburban sprawl and more taxpayer burden as a result of it. So these two, we made the corrections to the report, and that's all well and good. We're still waiting to come back, see what if the owners are going to work with us. If they're not going to provide us pedestrians safe routes, I'm not really interested in putting speed tables in. I think speed tables are a waste of money. I don't think that they really work. If the owners really want them and they're willing to work with us, I'm more than happy to go along with that. If they're not, they can they can deal with the problem as they see fit. The bottom line is a little planning could have taken care of this, but our planning was they didn't step up to the plate on this. They were overruled, and every one of these developments that subsequently went in, they had a chance to comment on that, and again, they either had a chance to do it right or they were overruled, and I just don't have a whole lot of sympathy for coming back and trying to address, having everyone else pay to fix these problems that could have been prevented in the first place. And you might think, well, we don't do that anymore. Well, actually, we do, and that's what's really sad. It came to the committee of the whole with the county asking for another 100 or some amount of acreage for more suburban development, and of course, that's going to go around Rochester. And City Council had no issue with it, so we're going to repeat this problem again and again and again until we get enough people who are willing to say no. Planning matters. That is where it's at. That's all the updates I have for you for this week. I want to thank everyone that met at National Night Out. I did make it to spent time at about 8 National Night Outs. There are a few that in my ward that I didn't get to, but would have liked to have been there as well. Went around on my bike. It was a beautiful night, so hope everyone had a good time. And I'll be providing an update after the next meeting. Thank you.